Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys don't know, CGC just opened up video game grading. If you guys don't know, CGC opened up video game grading, and today I figured we would go live and talk through it together, see what is going on, basically what's up with uh, the whole video game grading concept, and I'm gonna try and give you guys my thoughts and compare CGC to WADA and VGA, because I've had experiences with both and I've graded with both. So without further ado, let's get into it. I think that this is, first of all, a very cool concept. I think sealed games are, I think if there's anything to grade in this world, it would be sealed video games. The reason is because, first of all, you don't even need to keep them, you need to keep them sealed. Like, there's no reason to open them, obviously, because why? You can find like complete in-box copies, you can find the loose games, you can find the discs, all that stuff for much cheaper than the sealed product. And then the second aspect is the fact that these seals can be replicated, and there's really no reason to reseal a game other than for value, and that's why it makes sense for the things to be graded. You know what I mean? Like, why would somebody grade a Pokemon Red? The contents you can be had for like 60-70 bucks for that's very cheap compared to what the sealed product goes for. So I just really like the concept of graded video games, and I'm a big fan. So let's get into the CGC announcement. We're going to talk about it and see what's going on. So this is the website. It's CGC Video Games. First of all, I want to talk about the submission process. So with this one, it's just like PSA. You do need a membership, okay? And the membership costs around 150 bucks. It gives you $150 worth of credits though. So like, I don't really get the whole point of the membership. I mean, but yeah, it basically guarantees that you're gonna submit with them. I guess that's the perk of it. Let me move this closer a little bit here, like this. Okay, so you get a pretty substantial perk, which is being allowed to grade. Now they do have an upgrade. So you can see here I'm a premium member. You can see here that they do have the elite membership, which is $275 actually it's 300 bucks, but if you're recurring it's 275, and that gives you an extra 10% off grading fees. Now that depends if whether this is worth it or not depends on the fact of how much you're grading, right? So let's go into the pricing here real quick, because this is what's gonna like make or break whether you go with the $150 tier and the $300 tier. And by the way, this subscription applies for all of their grading, so it's not just like the video game side. You can use this exact same membership for card grading as well as comic book grading. So we're going to start with grading here. I'm going to approve, and then we're going to see the prices. So we have modern sealed or cartridge, okay, and then retro sealed or cartridge, okay. I'm not sure what they define as retro. Does this mean like anything that's out of print? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you, but it's $50 for the retro and then $40 for the modern. And I mean, how many would I have to grade in order to make my money back? So there's a $150 difference, and then $150, you divide that by 10%. So I need to grade 15 games. If I'm able to grade 15 games, I basically get the $300. After 15 games, it becomes worth it to have that, that premium membership, like not this one, the higher one. And I think I have 15 games to grade. I mean, we're gonna go through what I'm gonna grade later on, but so $50 here per game, and then $40 for the modern. All right, so let's go with the retro here, and I've never done this, so I do want to go through it with you guys and see what's going on. But what's interesting here also, actually, let me cover this real quick before we get into, because the thing is that modern complete in box and retro complete in box is $100, so it's literally double. And I assume this is because they're going to be spending more time on it, right? They're going to be opening it up, checking the insides, making sure everything is actually complete, and that's why it's more expensive. But that's kind of ironic because the sealed ones are the ones that actually have the premium, right? So, so that's kind of interesting. But let's go into just the sealed real quick and check out how they do the things. So we have search by console. Let's look up Pokemon Crystal. So they only have Crystal version, and let's just say declared value is like 400 bucks. Okay. Pedigree. What's pedigree? Add a pedigree to the certification label to indicate a video game status as a part of a recognized pedigree collection. What does that mean? Carolina collection, Dreamer collection, Indiana pedigree. What is this? Do you guys know what this is? I have no idea, to be honest with you. The personalization, though, this is interesting. What's this? You can personalize the certification label to indicate a video game's past or present ownership. Okay, so this means that they are not. I guess they are or they aren't attributing different types. Like this is something that I want to talk about real quick. So check this out. If we take a look at the DSLR real quick. So this is a Pokemon Crystal that I was planning to submit. All right, so you can see here the condition is quite good, but there's actually 3 different versions of this game. If you're not aware, this one has the first version is basically the top opens like this. Okay, it has this on top, but the bottom has something called a Y fold. All right, and it looks like this. Like, let me show you real quick. This is my Pokemon Silver. This is also complete in box. And dude, this one is crispy. Okay, you haven't seen crispy like this. All right, check this out. All right, let me show you. Look at that, flawless. You see that? Like literally not even a breath on this thing. Crispy, okay? So the Y fold is actually like this. So you can see here the bottom is different. This is Pokemon Silver and this is Pokemon Crystal. You can see that there's actually different bottoms. So the first version of this game actually has or the first edition of this game has a top like this and a bottom with a Y fold, okay? Now, the second version of this game is this one right here, which is basically the exact same content on the inside, but the top is this, and then the bottom is like another openable side. This is called a double-ended box, all right? This is the second printing of this game. And I mean, when it comes to Pokemon Crystal, it doesn't really matter because they're all very, very hard to come by. I think I have an offer on eBay. I put this one up on eBay, and I have an offer of $800 for this. Okay, it's complete in box. Imagine that, 800 bucks. Okay, and it's actually complete, and that's actually what's gonna indicate the next thing right here. I'm gonna show you. So before we open it up, actually, there is a third version of this game, and it's the third release. All right, and this is actually misprinted with. If you take a look at this word here, right before Pokemon, it says series, right? So there's actually a third version of this Pokemon Crystal box that has the series misprinted with a bracket. All right, so the R is actually replaced with like those fancy parentheses. That is considered the third version. What's actually interesting is that in the beginning, people actually thought that was the error because they were like, okay, why would they make an error after they've already produced like the correct box, right? Like logically it makes sense. But the reason is because of the content, all right? So if you take a look at this right here, you're gonna see that Pokemon Crystal Trainer Guide, this, and this is existent in all 3 versions. But in the 4th version, what you have is this, on the first 2 versions only, you have this right here, which is it's like the video DVD thing for Pokemon Movie 3. It's like a flyer. This flyer actually does not exist in the 3rd version. And the reason is because that 3rd version came after the movie premiered. I think that this nuance right here is kind of interesting. Like, you know, people think that They thought for the longest time that the misprinted version, the misprinted Pokemon Crystal was the first version, but it's actually not. It's actually the last version. This is the second, and then the Y-fold box is the first version, okay? Now, for Pokemon Gold and Silver, they don't have that. This is the, I mean, they do have one variant in Pokemon Silver, which is basically the manual on the inside has Canadian version, but the like on the exterior, there's no way to know. Okay, I just think that this is kind of interesting, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because when we go back here, all right, and we just change it up like this, you cannot indicate what type it is. So I wonder if they're gonna do that on their own, or if they are going to be if they're not going to indicate it at all. I think it's pretty important to indicate it. The reason is because I mean, for example, Dark Duel Stories, right? There's literally two completely different versions, and the values between each of them is substantially higher, right? So like, why would they not indicate that? I have no idea. But let's just say we're going to add that here. We're going to go add game. Handling is $5. Let's just say we do 2 games. Are they going to charge $10? Okay, it's the same thing. So it's not like multiplying here, but go next. Oh wow. Interesting. Okay, so they give you the option. So it's like PSA. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about here is the dynamic between CGC and VGA as well as water. Okay, so let's take a look at the cartridge real quick. This is what their container thing, whatever you want to call it, looks like. It looks quite a bit different than the water. The water has the same thing on the top, which is the label, but if you've seen water video games, like their stuff actually looks like a trash can, like it looks like it has a lid. I'm not too big of a fan of that. Because could you give me that box right there with the video games? I'm not too big of a fan of the casing of water, and that's actually why I barely submitted to them. I only sent like 2 games. I'm a big fan of the VGA one. Okay, the VGA plastic is really, really nice. However, I don't think that it will be as nice as I don't think it'll be as nice as the CGC one. Just from seeing like the comic book slabs as well as the card slabs. Okay, I think CGC does the best job in terms of encapsulating them. The label looks the same as their comic books and video games. Can't really expect them to change it. I just hope that they don't do the same thing that they did with the cards. If you don't know, when they first started grading cards, they did like this stupid sticker that was always off center, and then they basically scrapped that and they made it printed on with the label. I hope they don't do the same thing here where, so basically what happened is there's actually a tier class now. There's the old CGC cases and then there's the new ones. I hope they don't do that. I hope they like go with the right mindset on the first try. They are type, okay, so there is a type here. There is a Y fold. I'm not sure if they're trying to indicate the type of sealing as if there's different types here. But yeah, I mean, I hope that they do a type, man. Like I really hope. I don't want them to do like just Pokemon Crystal and not indicate the differences. This is something that WADA does really well, which is basically indicate whatever it is that you're grading, like to the T. Like they literally talk about the manual, every single thing about it. You're gonna know what type it is. I'm not too big of a fan of them just leaving it blank. VGA doesn't do this. VGA doesn't like declare the differences, except if it's like substantially different, where you can definitely tell. But yeah, I just think that's kind of cool. Let's take a look at this right here. This is box, cart, and manual. So this is the complete in box. Let's see if they have. So these are all going to be wide fold. And by the way, what they're talking about with Y-fold is this right here. Let me show you. So if we take a look at, okay, if we take a look at this real quick, oops. A Y-fold is this right here. If you take a look at this right here, you see that? This, it's actually an X, but for some reason they call it Y-fold. But yeah, this is how you know that your game is actually properly sealed. A lot of these are actually resealed. If you go on eBay, for example, you'll find some that are sealed like this. You'll find some that are sealed with, you see like this kind of plastic that goes around the edge. You'll find some on eBay, these exact same games with the plastic that goes all the way around. That is actually a resealed game, believe it or not. A lot of people didn't know. And actually what's interesting is that these were resealed not even recently. These were resealed like almost, I don't know, like if I was to approximate, maybe 2012, 2013, because the guy, and they actually have the cards inside too. Like I'm not sure why somebody would open them and reseal them, but what the all of them, they all have the cards inside. So it's not like you're gonna open a resealed one and find that there's no cards inside. I just think that's kind of really weird. Like, why would somebody do that? You know what I mean? But yeah, like I'm planning to send in a lot of stuff to them because yeah, like I've been dying for CGC to start grading video games because I'm not really happy with VGA and I'm not really happy with WADA. The problem that I have with WADA is that they take, first of all, not only do they take a long time to grade, but in my opinion, I think their grading scale is way too lenient. They are not very in my opinion, I think they just grade too easily. I've sent in some games that, in my opinion, are like 8 out of 10 condition, and I would see that they got like 9.4, 9.6. You know what I mean? I kind of reserve the 9.6 aspect, 9.4 to like, 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, but they do have that aspect where they're lenient, in my opinion. Okay, in my honest opinion, I think they're way too lenient. VGA, on the other hand, is way too like they are not lenient at all. Let me show you some examples here. Okay, so this game right here, this Pokemon Red, I graded myself. Okay, this was pulled right out of a blister. Okay, this thing is clean. Okay, it is literally flawless. There's not a single thing wrong on it. Okay, I don't know how in their right minds they thought it was okay to give me an 85 plus. Like, this is insane. Like, take a look at the corners. Okay, this thing is flawless. I pulled it out of the blister myself. Like, how dare they give this anything below 90 plus? All right, so when you do get a 90 plus, that should tell you like you have a really, really minty ass game. This one, I'm telling you, it was pulled right out of the blister. It was flawless and it got an 85 plus. This one, as well as my Pokemon Blue, I'm actually planning to like send them in for crossover, see what they get. If they don't do well, I'm gonna crack them, obviously. But I do suspect that these will do well, because what I found is CGC is actually one of the fairest graders out there. Like, they're a lot more fair than Yu-Gi-Oh, than PSA. They're a lot more fair than BGS when it comes to cards. In comic books as well, they're extremely fair. I really like the way that they operate, and they are not willing to kind of they don't hold back 10s or whatever it is, like the high grades, in my opinion at least. I think that they're very, very fair. So because of that, I'm hoping that these guys get their rightful grades. By the way, these guys have different versions as well. I might as well go into it right now. This one is what's called a white ESRB logo, okay? But what's also interesting is that this one's also Rattata version. They should be declaring that here, but they don't. I think they do that now, but it's too late because the pop report is already messed up. But this one is a Rattata version and Pidgey. There's actually another version that has Sandshrew on there. The reason that it got changed is because Sandshrew is an exclusive Pokemon. I think it's exclusive only to Pokemon Blue. It is not exclusive to Red. But they obviously here you can see that they put Pidgey on both of them. So originally they had Sandshrew. They had to change that. And then the white ESRB logo is basically the second printing. So there's a white ESRB logo with Sandshrew on the back. The second printing is white ESRB logo with Rattata, with Pidgey on the back. And then the last version is basically the Rattata and Pidgey on the back and a black E. And it looks like this, obviously, right here. Okay? So those are the three versions of Red, the main ones, okay? There's like some other small variances, but for the most part, these are the main ones for Pokemon Red and Blue. And then another thing that I'm planning to grade with CGC is my Pokemon Fire Red. This is one of my favorite games. In my opinion, this is one of the best cover arts in all of Pokemon. I just love that. Like, see, I like this, okay? But I'm actually not too big on like the watercolors. I actually like, I love this Charizard. I think this is, when I picture Charizard, this is what I think of, okay? This is literally, when I see Charizard in my mind, if I close my eyes, this is what I'm thinking of. So this one actually has 3 versions as well, all right? The first version that exists is this one right here. This is the first printing of this. And the way that you know is by a misprint here. You can take a look. You see how it says all new wireless adapter. However, it's misspelled. It's adapter, okay? They misspelled it. There is a corrected version of this game, which has the exact same thing on the front. It's just the back has adapter on it. That one's actually rarer than the misprint version, okay? But the misprint version is the first edition. And then there's another version that I like, but it's the third version, and it basically does not have this, all right? Like it actually doesn't even include the wireless adapter on the inside. So it's not just the logo is not here, the wireless adapter itself is not there as well. So that's the third version. There is a player's choice, but that one obviously you guys know is a reprint version. But yeah, I think that Fire Red is one of my favorite games. I still remember trying to go and battle Red. I don't know if you guys have played this, but if you played and finished the game, the last boss that you have to face is Red, and he has like level 90s. Like, what the heck? There's no other game that has the final boss being having level 90 Pokemon, okay? He has level 90 Charizard, level 90 Blastoise. It's just crazy. So yeah, the fact that you can do that in this game is... Wait, or was that Soul Silver? No. I'm thinking of Soul Silver. I'm stupid. I don't remember what this one... I think this one... I remember this one was being very difficult to grade. I honestly... Yeah, but I remember this one was being very, very difficult. Yeah. Soul Silver is the one where you fight Red at the end. That's the final boss. This one... I don't remember, but I remember this was a lot more difficult than the Gen 1s that I played, or even actually Gen 3. Like even Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire were not as difficult as this game. I had a really tough time with this. Even catching the legendaries, it was just tough. So I thought this was a great game. I love Fire Red. I think this is one of the best releases ever on Pokemon, the whole Pokemon franchise, and it has an amazing artwork. Like, bro, look at this thing. It's beautiful, man. Gorgeous. So yeah, that's the Fire Red version. So I'm sending these 3 games to crossover because these are my only graded Pokemon games. So I'm really excited to see what they come up with. All of these are super minty. Okay, like the red and blue came out of blisters. The fire red didn't, but it was super mint. Now for Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm sending in these two guys right here. The Dark Dual Stories first edition games. They better indicate it, man. I don't want to deal with like, you know, a messed up pop report for these. They better get it right from the first try. So this is Dark Dual Stories version 1. Like, this is craziness. This is like one of my most prized possessions right here. Secondly, I want to see if they grade these. I don't believe they grade Japanese games. These ones, they actually don't have a seal, and if you don't know, Japanese games, they never actually came with a seal. The only thing that's sealed in here is the cards. So if they do grade them, I am gonna send them in. If they don't, then I'm gonna have to set them back and wait until some of these companies get more cultured. And then last but not least, I have my, could you silence that please? Last but not least, I have my Tag Force games. So these guys, like I said, these are all Y-fold. So they all have the Y-fold here. Let me get it to focus. Yikes. Okay, they all have the Y-fold, okay? Right here. That's what makes them legit. And I have 1, 2, and 5. I have 4 as well in the PAL version. What's interesting about these is that the PAL version has the same cards. However, instead of ultra rare, they're actually super rare. So, and that applies to Tech Force 4 and 5. It does not apply to 1 and 2 because these guys are automatically super rares in all the versions. And then Tag Force 3 is actually a UK exclusive, so you can't even get it in the US. And yeah, so that one I'm not really too concerned about, but Tag Force 1, 2, 4, and 5, I really want graded because, you know, I didn't play the games, but I love promos, and these are some of the best promos out there. So yeah, this is the Tag Force series. And then, like I said, I'm gonna grade my Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Crystal. So this one I suspect will be like, this is in my opinion like a B plus. The back is really good actually. The side has no crushing, okay? The only problem is the front has a little bit here. Let me get in the light. See that? It has a little bit of a crease there. Everything else is like pretty much flawless. This one is, like I showed you guys, this is crispy. This is perfect right here. Look at this. And then I also have a Pokemon Gold that's also super crispy. Check this out. Look at this. Look at that beauty. So these two right here are if these don't get A pluses, I'm gonna be pissed because these are flawless games. These are actually not even played, believe it or not. Like, it's not even like complete in box where, you know, they've been like put together. These have actually, the only thing that was done to them is the wrapper was removed. Everything else is pretty much intact. The games are not even removed. Like I showed you guys with the crystal. It's the same thing with this crystal, right? Look at this, it's still in the baggie. Like these games have literally never been played. Imagine that, so sick. So that's Silver, Gold, and Crystal. So that's pretty much it. I don't really have too much more to go over in terms of CGC grading. I'm very, very excited to have them. I'm very, very excited to grade with them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something. Take care. All right, so now I'm gonna save that for a video, or maybe I'll just reshoot it again, but let's go into what you guys are saying right now. We can chill for a little bit. Yeah. what do you guys think? Do you guys have games? Are you guys like a fan of video games? Are you trying to collect some stuff or not? Let's see what you get. So glad I can tune into one of your streams. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you very much. Can you get a 10 on a game or 100? You can. I have seen some people be able to score that high. However, it's very rare when it comes to CGC. Like, you basically it has to come out right out of the plastic thingy, whatever you want to call it. I didn't know the DDS game came out in 2 waves. What's the difference? The difference is the back here has Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, and Exodia. The second wave is Sayoryu, Salamandra, and Acid Trap Hole. So it's obviously a very big difference in price. Like, this is like minimum $6,000-$7,000. The other one's like $500. So it's a huge difference. So I hope they I hope they differentiate between the two. Otherwise, it's gonna be really annoying. Would love to collect sealed Pokemon games, but those prices be nuts. The Pokemon hype is real. Yeah, I mean, the sealed video games are insane. Sealed video games are actually where I made like my first breakthrough in terms of like calling the market, if that makes sense. I bought like tons of Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Ruby, Sapphire. I bought a bunch of them for like $200-$300 a piece, sealed. Imagine that. If Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards wouldn't be that expensive, I also like to pick up some old Pokemon games. Yeah, I mean, sure. I think everybody would love. I mean, I'd love to own all the Pokemon games, but I had to sell when the prices shot up like crazy. The only ones I kept was Fire Red and the other two, because I pulled them out of blisters. Honestly, I just felt like they did not get the grades they deserved, and that's the main reason I didn't sell them. Honestly. I graded a 95 Pokemon Ruby. The guy who owns it is Montana VGA. He is if you guys know German streamers, his name is Montana Black. He's like the biggest German streamer there is, and like, I mean, obviously he's raking it in terms of money. So he paid a lot for Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I graded them 90 plus, and 95 for the Ruby. Yeah. That was kind of like one of the biggest deals I ever made. Man, I can't stop looking at this thing. Look at this. So nice. Greatest cover art on any Pokemon video game. It's just so badass. Yeah, this one in 2019 I bought for like $200, believe it or not. I bought this sealed in a blister, okay, with Pokemon with Game Boy Color. Okay, I bought this sealed with Pokemon with Game Boy Color sealed for $800. Imagine that. Okay. Crazy. I sold literally just the sealed Game Boy Color for $8,000. And then this one I bought as well for $1,000. That Charizard game comes with wireless. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's this is the only game that comes with the wireless adapters. This one right here. I would love to own, what's it called? I would love to own Pokemon Ruby again, but I don't think I'll ever get it back. Do you collect sealed special edition game systems? So I did at one point. I had this one. I actually had the Groudon as well. Groudon is like stupid rare. The Charizard one is stupid rare. The Charizard one sold for like $12,000. This one's around like 5 or 6,000. And then the only ones that I do collect are like the Game Boy Advance SPs. Yeah, but I had a Pikachu. What's it called? I had a Pikachu Game Boy Advance SP as well. I sold that. Yeah, if I was to reclaim any of the stuff that I sold, like it was very hard for me to sell the Ruby 95. Like that's why Montana Black had to pay up the ass. Like he paid a lot, no joke. Like he lost like 70% of his money on that deal. But it was during like the hype, the peak hype for Pokemon. It was crazy. Like Pokemon Crystal was like 100 grand. That's how expensive the games got at that point. And he basically bought the whole set from me. But I would love to get that Ruby back because I graded it myself. And then what else? Another one I would love to get back is Groudon, Game Boy Advance SP. The others I don't really care too much for. I really love Pokemon Ruby. That's the first game I ever played. I never played video games before then, so I'm really attached to that game. That's why he had to like offer me so much for me to sell it, because I told him, bro, like I'll sell you the Emerald and the Sapphires, just let me keep the Ruby. He's like, no, I want the Ruby too. And I was like, bro, if you want it, you're gonna have to pay. And yeah, but he is super stacked. Like he has enough money for days. And somebody asked, am I a Zelda fan? So I actually never played Zelda other than Twilight Princess, but I am a fan of the franchise. I had Zelda Link's Awakening. Okay, if you don't know, Link's Awakening is the rarest Zelda game out there. Okay, like the first printing of it, like you just can't find it. Sealed, I sold a VGA 80 for 15 grand. Okay, you have to imagine that, like 15 grand for, and they still don't come up for sale. So I'm not talking about the DX version. I'm not talking about any other version other than the original Game Boy one. Link's Awakening is by far, in my opinion, the rarest Zelda game out there. I had that. I had Twilight Princess original print run. Yeah. There's different versions for those, but I would say that the rarest is definitely Link's Awakening from Game Boy. That one is crazy. His house got broken into and some VGAs got stolen. No way. Are you serious? Damn. That's crazy. I feel bad for him. Oh, by the way, we can do a pack opening as well because, what's it called? Brian A. First of all, shout out to you, man. Thank you very, very much for your support of the channel. Honestly, it really does mean a lot. Thank you for like you guys who purchase these packs. I mean, you guys are the reason that I'm able to do the YouTube thing, because like I said, man, YouTube does not pay, right? So for me to dedicate time to it and not, time to feed my family, I have to be able to make some money, and you guys who are buying these packs, I really appreciate it. Thank you. It goes a long way. Let's go into these packs and hopefully I can pull you the Ghost and Ultimate Rare. By the way, they have not been pulled yet. Oh, nothing. How many English glass packs have sold? 8 of them. 8 have sold. Get that box sold, guys. By the way, like, where's it? Oh shit! I think I put it away. We have this box, okay? Right now, up for sale. Packs are up for sale right now. Click the link in the description. If we can get this sold, I'm telling you guys, if we put magic formula, you guys are gonna see an actual reaction from me because I don't really react. This is better, right? I think my phone died, that's why. Nothing. Damn it. Sorry, my man. I appreciate the support either way, man. Have you graded any of those cards from your LOB binder? I have not. I have not, no. I don't plan on grading any of my like actual collection cards. I like when they are raw, when I can feel them in my hand. Oh, it's super rare. Wait a minute. Yo, check out this artwork, man. Check this out. It's crazy. Red Dragon Archfiend. That's the one you wanted? Nothing. Bro, I'm gonna get you another pack just for the love of, what's it called? Supporting the channel. Alright, bonus pack magic, let's do this. By the way, Noah, I saw your comment. Damn, the Alti still has not been pulled. I saw your comment, by the way. Yeah, stay tuned for that Patreon video, bro. I just finished recording it. It's uploading right now. It'll probably go live today or tomorrow. But yeah, it's gonna be fire. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have too much. I guess I can show you guys a PSA return as well. Why not? All right, I have 2 PSA returns right here. Okay, let's do this. So I need to do this because I have to put it out as a separate video because a lot of people don't watch the regular stuff. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have with me a PSA return. This is from WotC, as well as, I don't think there's anything other than WotC in here, but I'm very excited because it has a lot of high-end cards. And what's interesting is I'm gonna tell you guys the story about two cards in here and why I chose to actually not have them slabbed after they gave me the grades. So without further ado, let's get into it. Most of these cards are going to be available on strictlysealedinc, so make sure you check out the slabs page when you go on there, and then you'll see like the whole Pokemon list for sale. If you're interested in these specifically, they'll probably be on the final pages of the slabs page. So let's begin. First one is Neo Revelation Magneton. This one got 9 because of a hollow line. I could see it. Otherwise, it's pretty decent. No, like, again, most of these were pulled from the pack, so yeah. Entei, one of the most beautiful cards. Oops. Shit, I have to redo that whole thing. I had to redo the whole thing because the mic was away. All right, you guys are gonna get to see. You guys are gonna get to see the whole thing. And the setup. I just don't have time, to be honest with you. I was able to dedicate a lot of time to the YouTube thing, but time has gone like really stressful and I just have not been able to do it, to be honest with you. All right, ready? Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have with me a PSA return. This is all Pokemon cards from the Wizards of the Coast era. I'm very excited to share with you guys, and without further ado, let's get into it. If you guys are interested in purchasing any of these cards, they're all going to be on strictlysealedinc, so you guys can pick up your slabs there. There's a lot of pages that you guys will have to go through, so I recommend, if you're looking for anything specific in here, it'll probably be on the final pages because that's when these will be listed, right at the very end. So first card is Entei, PSA 9, one of the most beautiful cards in all of Neo, in my opinion at least. Like, I love the Ken Sugimori art, and this is again an exclusive for the TCG. You're not going to find this Entei art anywhere. Next up is Magneton, also PSA 9, Neo Revelation. Rocket Scyther, PSA 9 from Gym Heroes. Dark Mewtwo, or Rocket's Mewtwo. This is PSA 9, also from Gym Challenge. Another one, PSA 9. Southern Islands, I have the whole set, but this is the only one that I ended up grading. The reason is because this is the only one that's worth actual like monetary value. Ho-Oh, PSA 9. Golduck, PSA 8. Celebi, PSA 9. There's a hollow bleed version of this and it's gorgeous, but I mean, it's stupid expensive. Another Celebi, PSA 9. Dark Magneton. This one had a couple of print lines, I remember, but I was expecting like a 9 on this because like the only issue is this white spot there. So that's kind of disheartening. Giovanni's Persian, PSA 8. Dark Blastoise, PSA 9. Beautiful card. Misty's Golduck, PSA 8. I love these Ken Sugimori cards, man. This right here, holy smokes, this is huge. I completely forgot I graded this. PSA 10, Blaine's Arcanine, and this one is clean. Look at this. if you want to purchase any of these, again, strictlysealed.com. Fossil, Dragonite, PSA 9. Blaine's Charizard. This one kind of stung. It has the... I mean, I don't know if this is a 7, to be honest with you. Might have to crack that one. Scyther, Jungle Hollow. Right here, PSA 10. Huge. PSA 9, Jolteon. And Flareon, PSA 7. Why is this a 7? All right, so I have 2 cards that did not get graded, and we're going to talk about those later. So next up, we have a Gem Mint Celebi from Neo Rev. I love this card. This one actually looks like it's Ken Sugimori, but it's actually not. This is Yoshida. But it definitely looks like a Sugimori art. This is huge. Shining Mewtwo. PSA 10. Miss Drevis. PSA 9. The Hollow Bleed version of this is kind of sick because the eyes light up like crazy. Beautiful card. PSA 8. This one I think is because of centering, because otherwise it's like really clean. Erica's Venusaur. This is another Ken Sugimori art. In my opinion, this is a classic. Gorgeous, gorgeous card right here. Gengar, PSA 9, first edition, Fossil. Blaine's Moltres, PSA 8. Dark Dragonite, PSA 9. Again, all of these are for sale. I'm not really keeping any of these. Snorlax, PSA 8. This is massive right here, Shining Celebi. Believe it or not, Shinings are actually not very difficult to grade. Another one, PSA 10. Holy smokes, that's huge. I completely forgot what's even in here, to be honest with you. PSA 9 Entei. If these hit, to be honest with you, that would be amazing. But alas, they did not. Another Mew, PSA 8. Another 10 Celebi. Look at that. Shining Tyranitar. This one was actually really clean. The only issue was this white dot right here. See that? And I guess the centering a little bit, but what can you do? I can't. I'm gonna get blasted for this, but I honestly don't like Arita's artwork. I honestly don't like. I don't even like the Charizard. PSA 9, Dark Raichu, and then last but not least, we have Articuno Hollow from Fossil. So those are the 9s, the 8s, and then the 7s. And then these are the 10s. We ended up getting 7 10s. So Celebi, 2 Shining Mewtwo's, Shining Celebi, another Shining Mewtwo, and then Scyther and Blaine's Arcanine. Massive hits right here. Like, I guess they pretty much pay for the sub. So yeah, that's the 10s and then the 9s. Again, all of these are for sale, strictlysealed.com. And lastly, what I want to talk about is these 2 cards right here. So let me show these to the side. So with these, I have to, I'm trying to give you guys my thought process, okay? So with these, I subbed every single card in here for around $18. And I got upcharged on like a lot of them. Obviously the 10s got upcharged, but I also got upcharged on these. I got a $50 upcharge on one of them, and the other one I got $100 upcharge. And the reason is because they got 7s and 8s. Okay, so one of them got a 7, one of them got an 8. The reason I didn't, I have them not slabbed is because I actually refused the grade. Okay, I refused to pay the upcharge. So they sent them to me unslabbed. Okay, you can see minimum grade not achieved, so there's no reholder. So what happens is I pay the $18, but I don't pay the upcharge. My thought process is that, okay, so I have these that I definitely plan on cracking and regrading. It's like, why would I get them back, pay pretty much $112 extra for no reason when I'm just gonna be cracking them? So I just decided, you know what, send them back to me. I'm gonna take a look at them, and then I'll take notes what they got, and then I'll resend them. But let's take a look together to see where these things are 7s and 8s. So you can see this is a beautiful card, man. Beautiful copy. Look at this. How is this? Okay, so there's a dot there. Okay. Let me bring it in closer for you guys. Look at this. How clean is this? How can this get a 7? Crazy. Okay, one more time. Oh, there is something here, but it's not a soft corner. Flip it on the front, see. Like, it's just like it's not a dent. Okay, it's not a dent. Like, you can't feel it at all. Yeah. I in my opinion, I don't think that's a dent. And then this one, I'm not sure which one got the 8, which one got the 9, but let's take a look at this right now. No, which one got the 8 and which one got the 7, sorry. So let's hit the light. I don't know, man. I don't see 7 and 8. I see like 9. Fine, you want to give it a 9? Cool, I'm willing to take that, but I really don't see 7 or 8 on these. Either way. I mean, it's PSA's loss. But yeah. So those two Charizards I decided to just keep as they are. One of them is actually the more saturated version. If you can see here, take a look. See how like this one's darker red than this one? What I might do is just send these to CGC, see how they do. I think that they might get the 9s at CGC, and we'll see how it goes. But in my opinion, I think these are beautiful specimen Charizards. I'm very, very pleased that I have them. Both pulled right from the pack. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. And I hope you guys learned something. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.